Hey, what's up, everyone? Brad Chmielewski here with episode 194 of Shatter the Vain. Uh, Hopefully, you enjoyed that little mini episode with T Tigers that I put up last Friday. If you missed it, go check it out. It should have went up in everyone's podcast feed too. If you didn't see it there, please let me know. I'll make sure to maybe it got tagged incorrectly or something like that. But I thought I saw it, but let me know if you didn't. On this episode, I'm joined by AngleWolf again. He was on about a couple months ago. Great streamer. He's been streaming and playing and doing tournaments for Vainglory for quite a while here, and it's awesome to see how passionate he is at it. Really good player at the game, plays a lot of Catherine, I dig that. He's been playing a lot of support roles and things like that. So in this episode, we talk about 5v5, but we also get a little recap on the Girls in Glory tournament. He ended up streaming quite a few of the games for the team over there that were happening. And I know there was plenty of controversy around the Girls in Glory stuff. There always is. It seems to not go away. So I wanted to get his kind of perspective on it as a guy that was working with these ladies making this happen versus hearing from them. So it's good to hear both sides of it, get his thoughts on it. It seemed like it was a very positive experience. Everyone I know that's involved with Girls in Glory, they are amazing people, very passionate about the community. So it's awesome to see and hear these events. This event went really well. Minus any controversy around it, but very cool. Hopefully we see them move into 5v5 here with the next time they do it. It seems like a once a year kind of tournament just because it takes a lot of work to put something together. So I understand some of their struggles there. But if you missed them all, you should be able to find VODs or recordings of it on the people's streams. I may have to go back and watch these finals because I hear they were pretty good, but I missed that, the North American finals here. So we talk a little bit about that. We talk about this new hero, Tony, that's coming in update 3.1. Probably be diving into more of that as I find out a little more. I also have Halcyon Masters coming on episode here soon, so we'll probably dive into some of the lore around Tony and thoughts on him as well. So keep a lookout for that. So we just kind of touch on the announcement, maybe guess at some of his abilities, have no idea what this Ardent-like guy is going to be able to do. And then we wrap the show up with sharing our favorite heroes that we're playing in 5v5. And that's the episode. It's going to be a short one this week because, AngleWolf had to get to stream. He streams every night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and we were just wrapping up here around that time. So let him go, get a stream going. Be sure to pop in there if you can. If you want to see some 5v5 action, be sure to check out his stream every day, he says. Want to mention the Patreon page before I jump into this episode. That's over at patreon.com/Shatter The Vain. If you can support the show in any way, that would be awesome. I don't stream, so I don't have donations or anything like that. So this is your way to donate if you like. But I appreciate everyone that's subscribed either on YouTube or on Stitcher or iTunes or whatever podcaster app you use or listen to or watch, however you consume this content. I appreciate that. All right, with that, let's jump into episode 194.
Shatter the Vain.
This is the 194th episode of Shatter the Vain. My name is Brad Chmielewski, and it's a podcast all about Vainglory. Every week, try and break down the news, gameplay, game tips, and hopefully we can all become better players together. And every week, bringing on people from the community, people that love this game, support it, make content. And this week, I'm joined once again by AngleWolf. Welcome back.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great. It's been, I think, a few months since you've been on, so yeah, nice to see you again. Good to be chatting.
Yeah, last time it was Lorelei was just released.
I know, yeah. Now we're here with 5v5 and all kinds of fun changes.
Nice. It's nice to see how how progressive all this is.
Yeah, for sure. For people that maybe missed that episode or haven't seen you streaming, do you want to give a little introduction?
I'm AngleWolf. I'm an Eagle Scout with the BSA. And Assistant Scoutmaster with the troop that I eagled from, which is part of giving back to the troop that I came from. And also, I stream. I used to stream for NACL. I just joined Vain, Vaguely Insane, like yesterday.
Nice.
And that's about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I streamed some for. Oh wait, I did stream some for Girls in Glory, the Nova Showdown tournament, and Celsior's tourney as well.
Yeah, I wanna learn a little more about Vane, but first I wanted to talk about the Girls in Glory tournament. That it just ended, and I was talking to a little old lady about maybe like a wrap up, and I should probably get Kiwi on to really wrap it all up. But Cats and Pizza, she was on a recent episode. She was talking about it, and she does a lot of stuff with Girls in Glory. But those are all the girls that are involved with it too. So I heard there's different opinions or maybe some controversy that went around with it. So maybe getting your thoughts on it and how you thought it went could be an interesting take on it versus their side.
Yeah. So, I think that like, so I saw some of the controversy. I probably didn't see all of it, but I saw some of it because I was camping last weekend. So I wasn't on Twitter for most of it, probably.
Okay.
But I saw that some people were having issues about girls getting in a Discord server and they used the word hiding. Okay. And I'm like, that's not. It doesn't seem like it's the right. They're not hiding. They're there and they're very welcoming. Basically, what the server is, it's a. Of course, it's called Girls in Glory, but they're very fair. So they don't discriminate, and actually, it's against the rules to discriminate and harass people over basically anything that you can list: race, age, sex, gender, orientation. They're just fair.
Right. But it's weird that this is like, it came up again, right? Like this is something that's come up when they first started it. I know Black Dahlia was, she helped put it all together, or she was involved in it early on, and this was something that came up. And so it's strange that it's coming up again, and I can only think it's because of this tournament and people are just getting, I don't know, they want to get upset about something and they need something to get upset about, so it's like we're back on this.
You know, sometimes I feel like that might be what it is. Sometimes I'm like, so if you have a problem with it, tell someone it, but don't be so mocking. Like maybe the people that were, maybe they should go join and see how welcoming and positive the environment is before throwing shade. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe an idea. Don't knock it until you try it, I guess, could be applicable here.
So you streaming it, you never had any, I guess, problems with anyone involved with it or anything there? You felt pretty welcoming and from all the players and people organizing it?
Yeah, they're really nice. They're much nicer than some other people I've dealt with, even. Yeah. So this is like not anywhere near what some people seem to think it is for some reason.
Okay.
I'm like, what are the complaints? They're trying to do something positive, and I don't get it.
Right. I guess they're under the assumption that they're trying to be exclusive to some degree, but that wasn't the point of the tournament either. You had to, each team had to have, I think it was at least 2 girls on it, right? I remember the rule. I don't know all the rules.
The rules for the roster is, of the 5 people on your team, you had to have at least 2 girls.
Okay, right.
course, you could have more, but that was for the next rule, which was, if I can have it open here. The next one was okay, so they're playing on 3v3. I should probably point that out.
Oh, that's right.
So they're playing on the fold. So part of what the league's rules were is that you had to have two females playing on the fold.
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically you could have a team of 5, 2 females and 3 males, but only one of the males could be playing, and the 2 girls had to play all the time.
Okay. Yeah, so that makes sense. Like it seems pretty open and allowed a lot of people to join. I know there's quite a few matches. You said you streamed like 4 or a handful of them, right?
I streamed quite a few.
Yeah. How was the viewership for those overall? Did you feel like people were coming out for them?
It was pretty good. The viewership was pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have any numbers for you on the viewers.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And it's probably in a great time too, because we don't have any Vainglory esports, so people are like craving something. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that were upset that it was 3v3, but at the same time, it was in planning before 5v5 was available. So
yeah, you don't really just decide that you're going to take a tournament that was started and then just change it to 5v5. You don't. Plus, with the gold ticket thing, not everyone that wants to join has a ticket, and you have issues with that too.
Mm-hmm. So as you were watching and streaming these, was there any female players that you think like stood out that we might see get picked up by some of these orgs? I feel like that's something that could benefit Vainglory a lot as far as like a news cycle, and not to say like, oh, only to get the news, but I'm sure some of these girl players would be great to join some of these teams that are going to be looking for players when 5v5 season starts.
Mm-hmm. So I've actually got some rosters in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
One of the team that won for the EU, they had two separate leagues. One was NA and one was EU.
Right.
So the winning team for EU was Checkmate Error, which had Mademoiselle, Physics.
Right.
Everyone knows. I know Physics.
Yeah.
From before. Mera, Matt, and Esquire.
Okay.
I don't recognize many of those names. Maybe it's because I'm not from EU, but I know Physics.
Yeah, and Mademoiselle's been around for a long time, involved with previous girl tournaments as well. She was kind of running those, and she's been on the podcast a few times.
So, they played really well. They actually ended up winning the EU branch, the EU series.
Mm-hmm.
That was best of 5. Everyone knows Physics. She's been an analyst for a few teams, I think, so far.
Yeah.
And then Mademoiselle, again, I'm from NA. I don't happen to interact with people from EU that often, but I believe Mademoiselle has been doing a lot.
Yeah, yes.
With the primarily female attorneys. And then if we go to the NA, we have Team Oof, which consisted of Max Green, formerly Starboy, because Starboy and Max Green did the name switch thing to confuse people. Okay. They used to name change, so now they have each other's in-game names.
Okay, yeah, very good. Okay. Seems about up their alley to do something like that too. So
so we have Max Green, which is now Starboy. Well, okay. Starboy. So we have, I'll just say Lang. So we had Lang, Starboy, I Make Chaos, Nazram, and Zelciar, along with Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton. I think I pronounced that right. Probably slaughtered it.
I'll take it, yeah.
You know. Everyone knows Starboy. Some people know Nazram from she's kind of affiliated with Vaguely Insane.
Okay.
People know LCR. People have probably seen Louis Vuitton and his Saw around
Yeah.
Twitch, around just Vainglory. So they were Team Oof. OOF. Oof.
Oh, okay.
They played against Team Name for the finals in NA. And Team Name is the team that won. So they had starting all over Kaio 3, Camilla, winner 1337, which is Truth, and Starboy, which is Max Green.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. Okay.
So we had Starboy and Max Green against each other. I did not stream that match, so I actually don't know if they played against each other, but that would have been interesting to watch.
Oh, right.
So Nazrim has been doing very well. She's been in NACL. She's been in Girls in Glory. She's been everywhere. She's really getting into competitive, I think.
Nice.
And I'd love to see a team pick her up. Camilla and Kaio 3, I'd like to see some teams pick them up as well. I don't know them as well. I don't really know Nazrim that well either, but I've seen her around.
Right.
I'm not very familiar with Kaio 3 or Camilla either. But
yeah, it's hard if you don't see these people.
I personally don't know these people, but
yeah, if you don't see them streaming, or if you don't see them playing in the competitive scene, or in these servers or Discord servers with them, you don't always know who everyone is, so it gets hard sometimes. But yeah, I heard that match was pretty great to watch, and I may have to go back and watch it because I missed so many of these games and had to just watch some of the VODs or watch some of the videos afterwards. So hopefully some of these players or some of these female players do get picked up by the orgs. I think it was hopefully a good scouting opportunity for the orgs that are still left in Vainglory and looking for people. And a good opportunity, I think, for any of these female players that are on the competitive side to get in now, because people are going to be looking. So if you can prove yourself in a tournament like Girls in Glory, you already have that leg up by just being a nobody and going off of ranked or word of mouth alone. So it should be good.
And there were also some other big names such as Zio and Status. That is D and Zio, not just Zio.
Yeah.
Everyone knows him. He laned for Tribe. Everyone knows him. He was on Team Septum. They didn't win.
Okay.
But they did well.
Nice.
They were for third place, and I don't remember who won that one.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Cool. So yeah, hopefully they continue this tournament. I bet Kiwi, I'll have to get her on and have a little recap of how it went, how she thought it felt overall. But I'm sure next time they'd probably want to do 5v5 and plan for that. It just is an insane amount of work to also do a tournament in the EU and NA at the same time. Those back-to-back streams or back-to-back weekend days get exhausting for everyone involved. So it's great that there are people like you, and I mentioned Little Old Lady, and other people streaming and picking up these matches so everyone can watch them. So you mentioned Vain as recently joining that at the top of this episode. Tell me about Vain and what made you join up with them.
So part of the reason that I actually joined Vain is because Frame Relay. You probably have seen him on Twitter trying to snatch some of the awesome players, players and streamers. He's just really looking to grow that guild a ton, and he's been doing it. He's reaching out to people and saying, "Hey, I want you."
Okay.
He's going and he is getting it.
Nice. So it's you're
very ambitious.
You joined as just the streamer, content creator at the moment as part of that. Very cool.
Yeah, I've actually been on their Discord server for a while. Kind of sort of thinking about joining them, but they did a huge rework of the guilds over the last weekend. trying to shuffle people around by activity and such. And I got a very nice message a few days before, and I'm like, So after careful consideration, I actually joined them. So it was nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like there's the guilds and people joining guilds. It's kind of faded away a little bit, but it's still like a important part of like meeting people in the community and like staying connected and helping promote each other as well. Like that's a big thing that a lot of the guilds help do. And just like, hey, this person's streaming, go watch them. Everyone support them. New video upload. It's stuff like that really helps anyone who's making stuff.
Yeah, support is amazing, especially from guilds and similar organizations. Like, you just can't thank the networking enough. It's just amazing.
That's awesome. So yeah, good luck there. Hopefully it goes well, and we get to see and hear more of Vain moving here in this season.
I'm getting the feeling that they're going to start making bigger and bigger splashes.
Oh, awesome.
Pretty soon.
Cool. Well, moving on a little bit. So we had one bit of Vainglory news this past week.
Vainglory news.
Besides like the orgs leaving, but I don't want to harp too much on that. But more exciting news is this new hero that we got teased / announced, Tony. Did you get a chance to check out this artwork or read any of this choose your own adventure story that Sugar Venom was putting together?
I wasn't able to really watch any of the choose your own adventure things. From Sugar Venom, who is awesome.
Yeah.
We already know she writes like all the lore. It's awesome. So he seems really similar to Arden. He's a mechanologist. Actually, I think they call them necromancers or something.
Yeah, something different. Yeah.
I don't remember what they call them. So he seems kind of like he comes from the group that Arden comes from.
Yeah, that's Storm Queen, Storm Lord kind of time frame.
So I don't know, like, I think that he seems way too similar to Arden.
That's what I'm worried about, right? Yeah.
So I'm like, so I'm kind of torn between thinking that he's gonna be some awesome brawler that's gonna like deliver some punches, but then I'm like, but we also have this other hero that punches people.
Right. Yeah.
He's a roam, so
yeah, I definitely don't think Tony can be a captain or a roam hero. He's going to have to be a bruiser, a fighter, someone in the front line, because otherwise it's just too similar and people are going to get confused. Not only the casters, like people that are casting the match, like,
oh my gosh,
if they look similar or do similar moves, that's going to be tough for anybody out there. But what's different is he has 2 mechanical arms, so you got to figure he's going to take advantage of those. I don't know any of the abilities yet. I have no rumbly on his video says he knows one of the abilities. There might be playtests on the PvE happening. I'm not involved in those or haven't seen that, so I can only speculate and guess on what this hero can do.
Yeah, it's pretty much only speculation right now. I mean, of course, SEMC knows, but that would be leaks. They already know.
Yeah.
I just really hope that they're not too similar to confuse casters and players, and that there's some variety stays.
We should really be hearing more about this, because they were talking about going back to a normal patch release and normal update schedule, which was usually the second week of each month. So, the update 3.12 dropped fairly late in the month. So if we get back to that beginning of the month launch, we should be hearing stuff probably in the next week or so, getting more info. And I know everyone's kind of excited for a new hero, because we went 2 updates with kind of nothing as far as heroes goes, but we got an entire new map to learn. So who needs a new hero to throw into that as well?
Well, I mean, not only is it 2 updates with a new hero, 2.12 lasted an insane amount of time as far as patches go. So, and that was due to the amount of effort put into 5v5, of course.
Yeah.
But it lasted a really long time. It was probably lasted a normal lifespan of 2 patches, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and the 5 or 2.11 leading up to it lasted a little while too, as we were waiting for those golden tickets, building that hype. They dragged it out on us.
I think that they dragged it out a bit much, but I think it was worth waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they needed to drag it out that much.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I
do find it really interesting that the 5v5 changes are similar to 3v3.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're the same. So any changes in 5v5 also carry over to 3v3. So that makes balancing really hard.
Yeah, I haven't played any 3v3 since 5v5 launch, so I don't even know how some of these changes have affected or play on that map.
Yeah, some heroes were balanced for 5v5, well, all the heroes were balanced for 5v5.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them got buffs to make them viable in 5v5 because they're just too squishy. Like Koska, for example, she got a barrier on her B. So that kind of made her really strong in 5v5. That made her good in 5v5. But then that barrier is a bit much in 3v3.
Right, because you could move around that map so fast. You have a barrier. You're just killing and taking anything you want.
And then similarly, we have Kroll's perk got a movement speed buff. It was like a 0.5 movement speed buff.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 3 before, and now it's 3.5.
Okay.
I'd have to check that later. Forgive me if I'm wrong on those numbers, but it was a massive change. Like it doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem right. Like it's good on the 5 map, but it just doesn't seem healthy for the game in 3v3.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be hard moving forward if they do start to balance heroes for each map, which I don't think they will, because you couldn't remember if Cruel's perk in 3v3 is 3 seconds, but in 5v5 it's 3.5. It would just get too confusing and just be a major headache.
Yeah, it's just I don't like. It also takes way too long to test.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're testing for 5v5, and then it takes, I'll say, roughly twice the time to check, to count, and balance everything out for 3v3 as well.
Right.
So now you have even more things to do on the time constraint that SEMC's already been given.
Oh man, yeah. I didn't think about that. Like the testers, like their internal testers.
Poor testers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry, testers.
and then the PvE testers, that it's already a small group of people. Like that's a lot. Yeah. Okay.
It's really bad for them.
Yeah.
Plus, they said something about there's a tech issue with the way that it would take up way too much file space to have separate changes for each of them. Although I suggested to some of the people that help with the PvE, I'm like, so could you implement something like talents where you keep 5v5 as like the normal balancing, but then you have things similar to talents, but you don't pick them, like in that mode. They just apply to 3v3.
I don't know, that could upset a lot of core 3v3 players that don't want to see it get changed and don't want to see it die. But I don't want
to see it die either. But there's gonna be a transition to 5v5 whether they want it or not.
Yeah.
SEMC said previously, before they were actually going to release 5v5, before they were actually about to, they said something along the lines of, we don't intend to replace 3v3, but if that's what the community ends up leaning towards, we'll do it. And I'm like, the community's going to lean towards 5v5, so they'll end up doing it. But they don't want to say we wanted to do this the whole time because that's not an awesome thing to do.
Right? Yeah, they don't want to. People get mad. So
I think that they knew when they said that there would be a massive transition to 5v5 due to player base.
Yeah, one game mode in any of MOBAs or anything, just like it always is the main game. Like it just happens. Like you want
and then everything else is a mini game.
Yeah.
like all of the raw modes. Well, we had Onslaught, but that was a seasonal mode.
Mailbag.
But that brings me to my last question that I asked and love to ask to you. Someone asked, what's been my favorite hero to play in 5v5, and why? I'll let you go first if you have a hero that you've been playing or really enjoying in 5v5. I know you're like a Catherine main, so I don't know if she's still up there for you in 5v5.
I actually haven't been playing her as much as I would have liked to recently.
Same.
This is greatly influenced by the recent Team Reza and Team Gwyn. Okay. #Team Gwyn represent. So that it was greatly influenced by that with the bonuses that you got for using different skins. I played lots of Rome Fortress.
Oh, okay.
Because of Trap Fortress. Because it's the year of the dog, and so
makes sense.
It had he and Grump had some bonuses on Gift Wrap Fortress and Lapdog Grump. So I played lots of Rome Fortress and some Flicker. Fortress seems really good.
My favorite to play right now, I think it's got to be Flicker, just because the game is still all chaos, and that's what Flicker does in 5v5.
Flicker just loves to magnify all the chaos.
And you can, as Flicker, you can really do whatever you want because you're always doing something. You're like, oh, here's a scout cam. Let me get rid of that for you. Let me run over here. Hey, I found somebody, guys.
Yeah, I enjoy Flicker, but because it's blind pick, I have played Flicker into another Flicker.
Okay.
So the way that they interact is they can see each other when they're stealthed.
Oh, I haven't had that happen. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you're a Flicker with your perk up walking from one bush to the other bush, and an entire team of 5 people with Flicker's ult stealth, they can all see you.
Oh, funny. Okay, so you're dead.
So you're dead. That didn't get clipped. I'm sad about that. That happened. It was very sad. I'm walking by Black Claw and I'm like, I'm dead.
You just see these glowing specks just coming at you.
It was very disappointing. My team was like, what happened? I'm like, Flicker ulted. They were like, what? I'm like, so then I explained to them how true sight works, and they're like, oh. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Like I said, I haven't run into any. I'm not playing another Flicker. It's usually only one, because still it doesn't seem like people want to play Captain as much, so it just doesn't happen.
And similarly, if you're both trying to control the same bush with vision, if you can see each other without the ult too, so you just end up kind of being redundant. And I'm like, what's the point of playing Flicker if the other Rome is also Flicker and can also see me? Like, what is the point of this? It just seems kind of redundant at that point. I'm like, this is sad.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I love playing Flicker, but this isn't how this is supposed to work.
Yeah, so the use case for ranked mode and bans really important there. So hopefully we see that sooner or later. Oh, well, that's gonna do it for this episode, this recap on Girls in Glory, hearing from your perspective and streaming and watching. This was great. Thanks for taking the time tonight and joining me.
Thank you. Glad to have me back.
Yeah, where can people check you out? What nights are you streaming? All that good stuff.
I stream basically every night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So and that's on Twitch, 9 p.m. Eastern, basically every night.
Cool. Well,
AngleWolf BG on Twitch.
Nice. I'll include links in the show notes and the description there. It's just about 9 here now, so I should let you get to it. But you can follow Shatter The Vain on Twitter at Shatter The Vain, website shatterthevain.com. All the episodes get posted there, links to iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube version as well. And I'll be back with another episode soon. Take care.
Let's get this over with.